everybody, my name's Michelle and this is my channel Sewing Bunny. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video, which is basically all about t-shirts. Now, I love a t-shirt. I wear them all the time. Even before I started sewing, I was such a t-shirt and jeans type girl. And I kind of am a little bit now, but I think my style's kind of grown a little bit more since I've been sewing. But anyway, I digress. T-shirts I love, and I've made loads of them. So the point of this video, I thought, would be to anyone that is looking for a t-shirt pattern, or if you're a beginner and you want to try a t-shirt pattern. I kind of thought maybe me showing off all the t-shirts that I've kind of made, my thoughts on them and everything might kind of help you decide whether you want to make it. So I hope it's going to be helpful. I have got a lot of t-shirts to get through, so I'm going to try and be as quick as I can, but obviously still go into all the details needed. So let's get straight in there with what I'm wearing, and this is the Pattern Union Molly tee. So this is the first t-shirt I'm going to talk to you about from Pattern Union, and this one, as I say, it's the Molly tee. I will insert some pictures of it here, and also I've got the line drawings here as well. Now you can see from the line drawings here that it is a fitted t-shirt. You can see there it allows for the hips, and you can cut the sleeves in any length you like, but what I really like about this is you can have thumb cuffs, and I really would like to try that. It also does have a slightly forward facing shoulder. So normally your shoulder seam would sit up the top here, but it's actually slightly further forward. So that's quite a nice little design feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up and show you the t-shirt that I'm wearing. Okay, so this is the Molly tee, and as you can see, it is quite figure hugging, but it's not tight. It's kind of, it just skims over your curves, and I feel very comfortable in it. So as you can see, if I just turn around, so yeah, it's kind of quite figure hugging but really comfortable, and it has got this curve. So this is why I really like it, is because it just hugs me in the right places. I like where it sits. It literally sits right on my hip bone, which is perfect for me. And this is what I mean about the forward kind of shoulder. Can you see that seam line there? So usually the seam line is up here, so that is where kind of the top of my shoulder is, but it just comes over that little bit more to give that little detail there. And I think if you were to, maybe if you wanted to do any colour blocking or anything like that, that would look really, really effective. So yeah, this one I absolutely love. I think it's a perfect fit on me. I didn't have to make any adjustments or anything on it. So yeah, I really, really like this t-shirt. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Oh, I forgot to say that that fabric was from Rockstar Fabrics, and it is a 95% cotton and 5% spandex, just so you know on that one. I will try and remember to let everybody know what the content is of these jerseys, and hopefully if I can remember where I got them all from. So next up, we are moving on to the second of the Pattern Union patterns, and this is the Eva tee. Now this one is the slightly looser fitting of the two t-shirts, and if I just grab the line drawings, sorry, this one was actually a bit more difficult to get the line drawings because it was just on the fold of where the pictures are. So let's do that where there's not too much reflection. So that is the Eva tee. So as you can see on here, there is not much of a dramatic curve. It is just a very gentle sweeping curve. You've also got this slight dipped hem on here, and you've got the shoulder seam that sits just at the top, like quite a lot of other t-shirts, and then you can do a short sleeved or a long sleeved, and you've actually got this little turn up cuff detail if you would like. So my version that I did the short sleeve, and I didn't actually do the turn up cuff detail. I've just left mine, my edges raw. on this t-shirt, just because of this fabric, and I like how it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'll stand up and show you this one. Okay, so this is the Pattern Union Eva tee, and as you can see on here, it is a bit looser. Now I've made this in a very lightweight French terry that I got from Oh So Crafty, and it does have quite a bit of drape to it, but it is slightly more structured than probably your standard cotton jersey. And I love this one as well because, yeah, it's it skims over, so there's not as much of a curve, but you can see there is still a slight curve. This one comes up a little bit shorter, so my hip bones are more or less here, so this is kind of where the Molly tee came to, and this one is a little bit shorter. And it does have a slight dipped hem, but probably not enough that you can really notice. But it does dip down ever so slightly on there. And then, as I say, for the sleeves, I didn't put the tab detail on just because I liked the inside of this French terry, so I just didn't sew the cuffs at all, and I've just kind of let the jersey or the French terry rather roll, so you've kind of got this little kind of effect there which kind of looks like it's a slight cuff. And yeah, so I really like the look of this one. The neckband sits beautifully flat on here as well, so yeah, overall, you know, this pattern is really, really good. The pattern instructions for Pattern Union are very, very good. You get actually 2 different types of instructions, which I love. So you've got your hand-holdy kind of instructions with, you know, kind of like the pictures and of how you put it all together. But then you also, for if you're a bit more advanced and you just literally want to know your basic steps, they have like bullet point steps as well. So you get your first few pages, which is your hand-holdy instructions, and then towards the end you literally get some bullet points that says, you know, right sides together, sew shoulder seam, you know, kind of things like that, rather than having all the pictures. So I think that's really, really good that you've got kind of both levels. So if you are a beginner, then this one will be no problem to make, as well as the Molly tee as well. And if you're more advanced, then you don't have to faff around with looking at all the instructions. If you know basically how a t-shirt pattern goes together, you can just literally skim through those bullet point instructions. So those are the 2 Pattern Union t-shirts. Okay, so the next pattern that I'm going to show you is the Tilly and the Buttons ranges that I've got. So for Tilly and the Buttons, this one is the Frankie tee, and this comes from Tilly's book Stretch, and I'll show you the Frankie tee there, and let me just show you those line drawings. So these are the line drawings for the Frankie. Now what you can see straight away is that this isn't a standard sleeve, this is a raglan sleeve, which means that the sleeve is inserted from the neckband down, rather than having, you know, the whole bodice going all the way up and then you just have a sleeve inserted right at the edge of the shoulder. And this one, as you can see as well, it has got this nice slight curve as well, and also it has got a slight curved hem at the bottom, so really, really nice, that one. And the version that I've made, I've kind of done a kind of 3/4 sleeve, and I got these fabrics from I think it was Looby-Doo Fabrics, but now they're called the Maker's Merchant. And yeah, I love how this raglan sleeve kind of fits in. I think it just sits in so nicely. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think if you've got slightly narrower shoulders, I think a raglan tee is kind of meant to accentuate your shoulders and maybe make them look a little bit bigger. I don't know. I've got quite wide shoulders, I think, and I don't think I look necessarily very wide at the shoulders, but I don't know. I really like how it looks. So I'm going to get up and show you this one. So I know that black isn't the best colour to show on camera, and it also doesn't help that I'm wearing black jeans, but I hope you can see this. So if I stand up, you can see this is where the bottom of the t-shirt finishes. So it is a slight dipped hem, and it sits probably ever so slightly below my hip bones. So my hip bone is here, so it sits just slightly lower. And yeah, you've got this lovely dipped hem, and it is quite a skimming fit, so it does have that curve that you can see there. And yeah, I really like the raglan sleeve aspect of this. I just think it looks really nice. You can do it in the same fabric, you can do like what I've done, you can do contrast fabrics. Tilly also shows you there is another hack where you can insert like a triangular piece here, so it kind of looks like a proper baseball kind of style t-shirt, which I think is quite cool. And Tilly's instructions are, well, if you haven't tried a Tilly instruction, then yeah, where have you been? They are amazing. Very, very, very clear, and yeah, she holds your hand the whole way through. So yeah, if you have this book, you probably have already made this t-shirt, because it's just such a lovely make, and yeah, perfect for whatever level of sewing you are. Okay, so the next pattern is keeping with Tilly and the buttons. It is the Agnes tee. And this one, I mean, from these pictures here, you can see you can have different versions where you have like a little ruched bit at the front or a little ruched bit at the side. But if I turn around so you can see the line drawings, I've done this version here, which is the plain one. And you can see that it has got quite a curved line here. So if you do have quite large hips compared to your waist, then this one is a lovely pattern to use. Now this jersey that I'm wearing is from M2M Fabrics, and yeah, this is a lovely quality jersey. Again, it's a 95% cotton and 5% spandex. And what I did with this one is I've made 2 sizes of the Agnes. Now, you may have seen one of my other Agnes tops, which I made out of a bunny fabric, which is this one here. So what I will do is I will try this one on as well, because I made this in a size 5 and I made this in a size 4. Now usually with Tilly patterns I'm a size 4, but when I made this one, because this is my first one, I wanted to size up because I think it looked quite figure hugging, and I have to admit I'd probably stick with the size up for me personally, but I will show you that when I stand up. Okay, so this is the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top. And so you can see that it is quite figure hugging. I mean, the fabric, it does kind of show my jeans under it as well, but it is quite figure hugging, and I don't know if you can kind of see there that it does kind of cling just a little bit to my stomach there. And so, I mean, if you love fitted t-shirts, then this is the one for you. And it is a brilliant pattern. I love all the details with it, where you can get the ruched front and the ruched sides. But for me, I don't like a t-shirt that's this figure hugging. So I will swap and show you the bunny one, because I think you'll kind of see the difference there. So this is how this one fits. And I'm just going to change into the bunny one. So this is the other one, which is the size 5. Now obviously it is in a patterned fabric, so it might not show up as well, and it is also the long sleeved version. But this one I find is a much nicer fit for me personally, and it still kind of skims everywhere, but it's not clingy, and I think you can't see kind of any kind of like lines like the other one. And yeah, I just think that it fits really, really well. So this one is my first Agnes that I made, and yeah, I'm going to stick with the size up than what I'd normally sew for Tilly and the Buttons, just for this pattern, just because for me, I prefer, if it's going to be a fitted t-shirt, I don't like it to be too fitted. So this fabric came from Sew Over It, I think, a couple of years back, which is again a 95% cotton and 5% spandex. So lovely amount of stretch and recovery. And yeah, I absolutely love this t-shirt. Loads of my friends say that this is their favourite t-shirt, and of course I'm sewing bunny, so I love bunnies. Okay, and the next one, I have to apologise in advance because I can see on camera how creased this is. I didn't think it was this bad until I tried it on, but I'm not going to go and iron it now just for this video, so I'm sorry. I know it looks bad, but just try and look past that if you can. So this t-shirt is the Burda Style 6540, and yeah, sorry, I've had to wrap it up in ribbon here because it didn't come in a envelope, but it is just a very basic t-shirt. I don't think I've got line drawings on, oh, I've got them down here, which is this one here. And this one is basically a front piece and a back piece, and then you just sew it up. Yeah, you don't have to put in any neck bands or anything like that. You've literally just got two pattern pieces, so amazingly easy. This fabric came from Like So Amazing, which is a cotton jersey. I believe it was 100% cotton, I think. I don't know, it might have a tiny bit of spandex in, but it feels probably more like 100% cotton jersey. So I'll stand up and show you this one. Okay, so this one is quite a boxy fit, as you can see there. So I've got absolutely tons and tons of room to move about in. And I mean, yeah, I don't really know what else I can really say about it. It's just a very straightforward pattern with Burda instructions. I'm not a massive fan of those particular instructions because, I mean, it is just literally a front piece and a back piece, and you think, how difficult can it be? But, you know, they tell you to, like, you know, twin needle things. Some of their wording can be just a little bit strange. So if you are brand new to sewing, even though it is like one of the easiest patterns to do because it's just a front piece and a back piece, the instructions aren't really clear. So obviously up to you if you want to make it, but it's very easy if you've made any type of t-shirt or top before. But if you're brand new to sewing, then maybe start off with maybe one that's got a little bit more hand-holdy instructions. That's just my personal opinion. So this t-shirt, yeah, nice and big and baggy. You can see it doesn't really have a lot of shape. It is kind of more of just like a kind of a square. And this one, because the neckline as well, it is kind of quite wide. It's kind of a bit more of a boat neck. It does have the tendency to kind of sit on one shoulder. It doesn't tend to kind of sit straight a lot of the time. When I've worn this before, I normally end up with it kind of over here and it's normally hanging off my shoulder. I don't mind that because, you know, I love a loose fitting t-shirt. But yeah, this one would probably work really well in viscose jerseys as well. So not necessarily a cotton jersey. If you got one which was a viscose jersey, then that would work really, really well for that as well. Right, next up is we're moving on to Threadcount patterns, and I've got two of their patterns. So the first one is one that came free in a sewing magazine, which is the duo of t-shirts. And what I really liked about this one is it is a V-neck, and I have never sewn a V-neck before, so I really wanted to try it. Now from here it probably looks okay, but if I show you a little bit closer when I stand up, there is a little bit of there was a hole just in this section here which I had to kind of patch up a little bit because these instructions, I just did not understand how you put the neckband in, and I just had to wing it. So, I mean, how difficult can it be to put a t-shirt together, really, in my opinion, when I've been sewing for nearly 3 years now, and how many t-shirts I've made, and that I struggled with this neckband. So, I mean, it could just be me, I don't know. But if I show you the bit that I mean. So yeah, this is the bit that I mean. So you have two neckband pieces, so two long rectangles, and it tells you here to baste stitch, and it tells you what it looks like here all along the middle. I apologise for the state of my nails, I've just seen how bad they are. So sorry, yeah, it tells you to baste all along the middle. So, okay, that's fine. And then it tells you to make that kind of typical V-neck. And then the next section here, so it just says Pin neckband to right side of neckline with raw edges together, matching notches to shoulder seams and dot to centre front, stitch, stretching neckband to fit the neckline, press seam allowances towards the front and back. So, to me, that makes perfect sense if you're putting in a standard neckband that you've just kind of folded over and you need to stitch. But you've done this funny like line through the middle. You still got it going through there, and when you apply it to here, I mean, I tried sewing it down and then folding over, which I think this picture looks like here, but it was just a bit of a mess, so I have no idea. And then the next instruction is just say to stop top stitch it down. So instead, what I did with this is I got the 2 neckband pieces and I stitched about 3/8 of an inch from the from one side of the top long section, and then folded it over, ironed it, and then just applied it where it just, I started here, went all the way around, and then finished this side as well. So that's probably why I've got a bit of a hole. But I mean, yeah, how confusing. You're probably, loads of you are kind of shouting at me going, Michelle, it's really straightforward, but just for me it wasn't. That's not how my brain works. But anyway, enough of that. Let me show you what this looks like. So I forgot to say, with the line drawings here, there's a short sleeve version here and there is a long sleeve version, but also there's 2 different lengths. So you've got the slightly shorter length here and the longer length. So I went for the short sleeves, but with a longer length bodice. And this jersey again was from M2M Fabrics, and 95% cotton, 5% spandex, absolutely perfect for this pattern. And I made a size medium, and I got this out of 1 metre as well. Quite a few of the other t-shirts I got out of 1 metre as well, so yeah, perfect t-shirt pattern. So this one, as you can see here, it's the slightly longer length. So my hip bone is here, so you can see it sits right here, and it actually sits kind of just below the widest part of my hip. So it's a nice long line t-shirt. It doesn't have a great deal of shaping at the sides, but yeah, I mean, I quite like that look of where it's a bit more kind of loose and baggy, but kind of nicely fitted on the hips. So this is the area where I struggled. So I don't know if you can see here, but there is kind of a little patchwork job there where I've done a few stitches, but you can't tell from like, you know, a distance. I have top stitched it down as well, which I think does look quite nice. And yeah, this fabric is just really pretty with this pink marl. I really, really like it. And so yeah, overall, I am really happy with the t-shirt. I just wasn't that keen on the instructions. Let's move on to the next one. It seems a little Black Panther has stolen my seat whilst I was getting changed. This is Misty, everybody. Oh, keep changing. It's making me a bit hot. So sticking with Threadcount, this is the ultimate t-shirts. So this one is a round neck. Yeah, so I've basically done this version here, and this one totally different with the instructions, really straightforward. But then I suppose I'm so used to inserting a neckband for a t-shirt that yeah, I kind of knew what I was doing anyway. But yeah, the instructions in this particular one were a lot better than the duo of t-shirts. And again, this fabric is from M2M Fabrics, and it is a 95% cotton, 5% spandex, so brilliant stretch and recovery. And yeah, I really, really like this one. I made a size medium. Again, 1 metre of fabric was used for this one, and I will show you this one. So this one, I love the fit of this. It is not too figure hugging, and it is not kind of too baggy. I think this one fits me, probably one of the best fits, I think, of t-shirt that I own. It sits literally just on the hip bone, which I love. The neckband went in really smoothly and sits quite flat. I love this sleeve length. It's just at the right point. If you want a really basic t-shirt, then this is just perfect. I absolutely love the fit of this one. And again, apologies if you can't see it too well because it is a dark colour, but yeah, I need to maybe get some different lighting or something in here. But yeah, this one fits really, really well, and yeah, I'm going to make plenty more of that pattern because I love how this one fits. Okay, and then next up is one of my favourite ever patterns, and this is the Grainline Studio Linden sweatshirt. Now I say sweatshirt, now that's what the pattern is called, however I make this as a t-shirt and as a sweatshirt because this pattern for me is so versatile. And I love this one. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see how much I've made the Linden. But I'm talking about t-shirts today, so this is purely just from a t-shirt point of view. So this fabric came from Oh So Crafty, and I think the French terry came from the Maker's Merchant, I think. And yeah, the pattern, I don't have it to hand, so I will insert it like the line drawings here. It is a raglan sleeve, so again, it's where that sleeve continues up into the neckband rather than having a separate piece attached onto past the shoulder. And it's got a neckband, it's got, again, black. Why am I showing you things in black? I've got another version that I will show you. It's got a cuff and it has got a bottom band as well. Now this particular version that I've got on here, I've got a very short cuff, but my other version I've got a longer cuff, so I will show you those too. But let me stand up and show you this one. Okay, so this is the Linden. So again, apologies, you probably can't see this too well, but I have got this bottom band here. I've got a band here as well. I don't know if you can just see that there, that's where the band is. Usually the pattern piece is a lot thicker, but I shortened it in this instance just because I wanted it just at this kind of half sleeve kind of length. And yeah, this one I love because it is a very boxy fit, but because it's got that bottom band on, it just kind of cinches it in a little bit more. And I love the versatility of this pattern. So you can colour block it, but you've also, because you've got the bottom band and the arm cuffs and the neckband, if you want, if you've got an overlocker, your sewing machine doesn't even need to get involved. You can do it all on the overlocker. And that, I think, is why I love this pattern so much, is because it is just so quick and so easy to put together. So I do have another version of this because this fabric is a lightweight French terry, which, if you can remember from my earlier ones, that wolf fabric, that's again a lightweight French terry. So in theory this is kind of probably more of a sweatshirt, but it's very lightweight. You can see on here kind of how kind of drapey it is there. But let me try on a 95% cotton, 5% spandex for you so you can see what it's like in that kind of t-shirting fabric. Okay, so I hope this shows up a little bit better, the details. So I've got this bottom band cuff here. I should have said before, this one sits right on my hip bone as well. And this is the kind of like the standard kind of cuff on there. So as you can see, this is why I love this, that you can see that you've got these different colours which you can kind of mix up a little bit. How cute, by the way, is this fabric? This is a fabric which was from First for Fabrics, and it's all these beautiful little otters. I absolutely love this one. And because it's in the 95% cotton, 5% spandex, it is a little bit more drapey than the French terry, just a little bit, but to me it feels just like a perfect kind of t-shirt. I love how this fits, and yeah, it is probably one of my favourite patterns ever, and I'm going to make tons and tons because I love this pattern. Okay, next up is the Grainline Studio Hemlock tee. And this one you can see is very boxy. You can see there is no shaping really there at all. and this one is also a grown-on sleeve. So basically that just means that there's no line for the like between kind of like the shoulder and the sleeve. It's kind of, it carries on, and then you attach a sleeve piece, which I will kind of show you a bit more detail when I actually stood up. Again, this fabric was from M2M Fabrics, but this one was actually a modal jersey. So I think it was, yeah, I think it was something like, I can't quite remember what the content was of it, whether it was fully modal or whether it was a mixture of cotton as well, I don't know. But it's kind of basically, imagine a viscose jersey. It's just literally that. You know, this is more or less exactly the same as a viscose jersey, but it's so incredibly soft, this one. I love it. Again, apologies for the creasiness. I was actually wearing this t-shirt yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to wash it yet. So let me stand up and show you this one. So this one is, as you can see, a very boxy design, and there is hardly any shape. But that's why I think it works so well in a kind of a viscose jersey. So I would probably, personally, I would stay clear of a cotton jersey or a cotton spandex jersey for this one, because otherwise you probably could end up with it a bit more structured and it could look a little bit tent-like. But for a nice, soft, drapey viscose jersey, then I think it's perfect. So let me just do a little twirl. And I love this. I love this kind of really relaxed kind of t-shirt. It's got a nice length on the sleeves as well. They're not too short, they're not too long. Instructions for Grainline Studio patterns are amazing, really, really easy. Also, this pattern is free. So I think you just need to sign up, I think it's like their newsletter or something, and you get this totally free, which is amazing. And yeah, I mean, it's not a t-shirt that I would necessarily wear all the time because it is quite baggy and loose, but I love how this fits, and it's just, yeah, it's like, you know, if you get up on a Sunday and you just want to chuck on a nice t-shirt, this is absolutely perfect. Right, we are getting there. After this one, I've only got 3 left. I hope you're still with me. So this one, so you may kind of recognise this from my little profile. So this is the Mandy boat tee by Tessuti Patterns. And this one again is a free pattern, which everybody loves a free pattern. I love this one. This is kind of a little bit similar to the Grainline Hemlock tee. And I will show you this a bit more when I stand up. So this one has this lovely boat neck, and yeah, it's really, really nice. There's no neckband on this, you just literally fold it over, and it comes in this sleeve length, but it can obviously be adjusted. This fabric came from Sew Over It. Again, a long time ago. It's a viscose jersey, which is perfect for this pattern. And the Mandy boatie, I think, comes in a few different sizes. I think I made a medium, I think. So yeah, I will show you this one. So again, a very boxy style. You can see here, I've almost got a right angle there. And this again is a grown-on sleeve. So again, I probably can't show you too well in this fabric, but you can see here that the t-shirt carries on here, and then you have this seam line, and then you have just a rectangular piece kind of inserted. And this one, again, it's a viscose jersey, so it's nice and drapey. It's really nice. Again, I would stay clear of a cotton or cotton spandex jersey, just because I don't think it would be able to kind of cope with the drapiness, and you may end up looking a little bit boxy. But with drape, I think it looks absolutely lovely. And I love this length of the sleeve, and I just think it lifts the top from being a bit like the Grainline Hemlock. It just kind of looks a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more kind of going outy. And yeah, if I did this in just a plain colour like the Grainline, I think it would just look a little bit more sophisticated, just because it's got that kind of boat neck and this lovely length of sleeve. And yeah, this drapiness is just lovely. This is probably one of my favourite t-shirts that I have in my wardrobe, and I pull this out all the time to wear, so I absolutely love this one. Oh, right, okay, so the penultimate t-shirt is the Deer and Doe Plantain tee. Again, another free pattern. I love a free pattern, and this is a good one. I've made 3, I think, of these, and I love these. So this one is kind of like a slightly lower scoop neck, and it's also quite boxy. Again, I don't have the line drawings with me, but I will put them in here for you. This fabric was from, where was this one from? Fabric King, I think it was. I'll link obviously everything down below for you, but yeah, this is actually a polyester jersey. So this is polyester and spandex, and normally if you'd say polyester in like a jersey, probably a lot of people would be like, oh, I'm not sure I like the sound of that if it's kind of a bit clingy and a bit sweaty, but it's not. It's so incredibly soft, this. It's kind of like brushed. It's so nice, and I don't mind a polyester jersey if it's on a slightly kind of floatier kind of design, which this one is. So I will stand up and show you this one. So this one, yeah, it's just lovely and drapey. So you can see probably the shape on there. There isn't a lot of shape. It does kind of just go down. So it does kind of rely on a drapier fabric to be used. And yeah, I really like how this one sits as well. I like this slightly lower scoop neck. I do like the sleeve length as well. I do kind of like the sleeves where they're kind of, you know, they're kind of almost hitting halfway. And yeah, I love this one. I've worn this one loads as well. And I've made it 2 other times. So this is a polyester jersey. I made it in a very cheap 100% cotton jersey. I'm not sure where it is, but this pattern comes with little elbow patches as well, which is so cute. And I did make that version. I'll see if I can insert a picture. But then also, as well as the polyester jersey, I think it would be amazing in a viscose jersey, just because of the boxy shape. But I also did make this in a cotton jersey. 95% cotton, 5% spandex jersey, which I will show you now, which is this one. And yeah, I love this t-shirt. You've probably seen me wear it a few times as well. It's these gorgeous little pandas. They're so cute. And yeah, this one is a 95% cotton and 5% spandex. So you can see it is quite boxy, but I really don't mind that. This pattern just kind of, it's very fitted kind of on the sleeves and up here and over the bust, and it's literally only kind of really like goes out kind of from under the bust out a little bit more. And so I think you can get away obviously with a cotton jersey with this one, unlike some of the other ones which literally start from here and just literally go down. This one does have a bit more shaping around the bust and then kind of comes out. So yeah, absolutely brilliant pattern. As I say, I've made it 3 times. I'm probably going to make a few more of them as well. And yeah, on to the last pattern. So well done if you've got to this point. This is the last pattern that I'm going to show you, which of course is the Sew Over It Molly top. And if you've seen my channel or if you've been with me for any length of time, you know probably how much I love this pattern as well. It's probably level pegging maybe with the Grainline Linden, possibly. But I love the Sew Over It Molly top. It is a grown-on sleeve. Again, I don't have the pattern with me now, but it does come in the Sew Over It ebook, which is called the City Break. And so you do have to purchase the ebook to be able to get this pattern. It's not one that you can just buy on its own, unfortunately. but the City Break ebook has got loads of other patterns in as well, so it is definitely worth purchasing. I've got my money's worth from it just from the Molly alone. So this one is a grown-on sleeve. So basically that means that, as I've said before, there is no shoulder seam. It just carries on, the pattern piece just carries on along the arm. And I think this is why I love it so much, because this is a front piece, a back piece, and then your neckband. So incredibly easy to do. It's a brilliant pattern and it's got some lovely little designs in it. It has got a slight shape to the waist and it's got a lovely curved hem as well. So I've got two versions that I'm going to show you today, just because I have got quite a few different versions, but I kind of thought I'll just show you these two because they're in two different fabrics. So this one is from a 100% cotton t-shirting fabric that I got from Fabricland ages ago, and it is kind of a very lightweight jersey. So it is 100% cotton, and I will show you this one. Okay, so this is the Molly top. So as you can see, it is a grown-on sleeve, but it does have a slight shaping to it. So it does kind of curve a tiny bit, and also if you can see there, it has got a curved hem. You might be able to see it a little bit better from the side. So you can see it just curves slightly there, which I just love. I love that shape, and it is such an easy t-shirt to sew. So this is the 100% cotton. I'm going to now show you one which is a viscose jersey. So this is the viscose jersey version, and I've done a slightly longer sleeve on this one. And this fabric came from, this was originally Luby Doo, now the Maker's Merchant, and it is this gorgeous viscose jersey, and you can just see how nice it is in a viscose jersey. It does work in the cotton jersey, or a 95% cotton, 5% spandex jersey, which I've done as well. But probably my favourite is a viscose jersey for this one, which I think is what the pattern recommends. On the dress version, which is just literally a lengthened version of this, it does say to use things like Ponte, but I've used Ponte, I've used the standard, you know, 95% cotton, 5% spandex, and it's been absolutely lovely. But in a viscose jersey for the top, it's just lovely. You've got that lovely curved hem. My hip bones are here, so you can just see that it does dip slightly, and there's the side dip as well. And yeah, this one I absolutely love, and yeah, it's, the Molly top is just an absolute brilliant pattern, and I recommend it to anyone. Okay, so my kind of couple final thoughts. A lot of people have asked me what is my favourite t-shirt pattern, and it is such a difficult one to kind of say, because I love so many things about each t-shirt pattern. I've made probably the Molly tee or the Linden sweatshirt the most, just because for me they're the easiest and they're quick and they're easy to sew. If you're after kind of details and things, the Mandy boat tee, I love the details on that. I love that boat neckline, I love the sleeve length, and also the Pattern Union patterns as well. They've got some lovely details where, you know, the Molly tee has the thumb cuff details, which, you know, you don't see in a lot of other t-shirt patterns, and the Eva tee has that nice little tab detail, so you get kind of like little extra bits kind of with those. The Plantain tee, Deer and Doe Plantain, it's free. The Grainline studio pattern, the Hemlock, that was free. So it's so difficult to kind of work out which is my favourite. So I'm really sorry that I can't kind of pinpoint it as such, but all I would say is probably my most made t-shirt is the Molly top, because yeah, that's probably my most made. So maybe that tells me it is my favourite. I don't know. If you are a beginner sewist, I personally would stick to very hand-holdy instructions, tilling the buttons, amazing instructions, colour photographs of every step of the way. So that is amazing. The pattern union instructions are really good as well. Grainline Studio, Deer and Doe, they're amazing as well, but maybe steer clear of what I would say is kind of like, you know, the envelope patterns, as in the Birder, the Threadcount. I mean, that's not to say that, you know, they're not, you know, easily followed, but if you're absolute beginner, then stick with the really hand-holdy instructions, just in my opinion. So well done if you have lasted this long and you've got to the end of the video. Round of applause. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching and that you got something out of it. So if you have liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.